Hey, you're jacked into the franchise. Well, not no. You're jacked into Buffy's Angels. I'm your host, the guy who's watched them all lots of times, Daniel Ehrenberg, and over there, the noobster, Logan B. Adair.
I don't get it. Why did they have to move this episode? I
You
don't
don't
understand.
okay, well, when someone's talking about how we've all idly thought about taking out our entire school with a semi-automatic a week after Columbine,
What are
maybe
the
we post.
odds?
I know it's insane. They've never said anything close to that on
It
Buffy
felt like a
before.
parody episode. Like it was so on the nose, it felt like a joke.
I know, but it was written and all done before Columbine ever even happened.
By
It's
the way,
almost like Columbine was a viral marketing campaign for this
it's
episode.
like Barbie, how Barbie's going so hard on social media. It's like they simulated a shooting for this episode. We don't actually believe that, guys. We don't think that. But I do want to say, I think it's so funny that I didn't know Jonathan for 2 seasons. Like I ignored him also.
You did, yeah. This is why he was the perfect choice for this episode.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into that though later. Today we got to talk about
Oh yeah,
enemies
I forgot. We have another episode before that.
and then earshot.
Let's skip enemies.
You know what's everyone's beef with enemies? Because like you told me you're not into that episode before we started recording, and Josh wrote in about it too, and he said it's like sucks.
I didn't think it
He called
sucked.
earshot a return to form.
You don't think it's a little I don't know, I felt like some things just happened to happen kind of in that episode.
I think it's a solid ep.
Every episode's a solid up, but that's just I mean we'll get into it. It's not
Okay.
last place on my ranking or anything.
All right. So let's talk about that first. That aired March 16th, 1999. The number one song in America was Believe by Cher. Great stuff.
Like it's been 2 months of share.
I know. I looked up uh what was on TV that night, and this blew me away. The WB tried out a medical drama that I don't remember happening. Because Felicity was airing after Buffy this whole season. And then like I guess Felicity took 2 months off or whatever. And they replaced it with this medical drama. And I looked it up. It's called Rescue 77. I have no memory of this, but it has multiple Buffy connections. One of the leads is a guy who's later on Angel, and in the recurring guest cast, Logan, Jenny Calendar.
That's amazing. I never
Yeah,
heard of that show either.
I want to go watch it now. It got canceled after 8 episodes.
Did so she was cast on that maybe right after this?
Could
After she
be,
died,
yeah,
she got that show.
yeah. All right. What else happened this week? Some the movies. I'll tell you, number one at the box office for the second week in a row. Analyze this.
Yeah. I think
Anal Analyze this. That was you remember the Sopranos we talked about premiered just like a month or two before this. So it was really in the air. America wanted to see mafia bosses in therapy.
yeah, I've never seen that. But we have, by the way, 2 weeks have passed since the last episode, or two, I don't know, a few weeks. But I think Cruel Intentions came out between last episode and this episode.
Yep, Cruel
So that's cool.
Intentions is at number 3 at the box office. I saw it in the theaters. I remember I had a boner the whole movie.
Yeah, start to
I
finish.
I know, like no joke. I remember that from the time. It was like I don't think I'd ever maintained an erection for that long in public.
When you hear Bittersweet Symphony, does it bring back the boner?
No, I've seen the movie so many times now that I just watch it as like an awesome movie. But at the time it was formative.
Yeah,
Formative in my pants.
absolutely.
Um Number 2 at the box office, The Rage: Carrie 2. And I watched a movie directed by the lady who directed that yesterday.
What's that?
It was called Streets.
Okay, how's
Uh,
that?
it was good. Christina Applegate played a teenage hooker. I'll talk more about it on Hey, I'm watching here later this week. All right. At number 4, debuting at the box office, The Corruptor, which I saw. By the way, I saw all the movies this week, everything.
Yeah.
The Corruptor was a two-hander with they were trying this a lot because of Rush Hour at the time. Like Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker was a thing, so they were like, let's do more of that. So The Corruptor was Chow Yun Fat, Mark Wahlberg.
All right.
All right. Then number 5, Baby Geniuses. All right, we could cover that on the podcast. There were Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. And number 6, Deep End of the Ocean, based on a novel which was referenced on Buffy earlier this season. And because Pat and Joyce were reading it in their book club on Dead Man's
Wow.
Party.
That's great.
Yeah. And number 7, Wing Commander, based on the PC game starring Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Check it out, gang.
Were they in Summer Catch? Did they reunite for Summer Catch?
They were in many movies together. They're also, of course, in the Scooby-Doos together.
Oh, of course, duh.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Pat? I forgot what happened to Pat. What was her fate?
She died.
Okay, she did die. That's what he said.
I said at the time, she's second only to Jesse in Buffy history in characters that should be important that we never talk about again after they die.
Why would they be important after they die?
Well, just
Oh,
like
you mean just because it was like her friend? You mean?
yeah, it's like the only friend we've ever seen Joyce make in Sunnydale,
Right.
and they just like fucking.
Who was the other one you said?
Jesse.
Who's Jesse?
Uh-huh.
From the
Xander's
beginning.
best friend, motherfucker.
From the beginning, from the Harvest.
Yeah, and Welcome to the Hellmouth.
Yeah. Okay.
Directed by Toad from American Graffiti.
Yeah.
All right. The big music releases this week, album releases, 13 by Blur. I was all over that record. Great album. Had Coffee and TV, Tender, some of the best Blur songs. All right. Very experimental. Swamp Song. What a song that was. All right. And Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block. Now, boy bands were starting to pop off. So he was like, let me see if I can mount a comeback. Didn't really pan out, but we all enjoyed the hit Stay the Same.
Yeah.
Hope you always stay the same. Cause there's nothing about you I would change. How about that?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, very good. All right. Also, the 14th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee ceremony happened. Inductees included Billy Joel, one of the worst ever, who I rung up in Blockbuster once. Curtis Mayfield, Paul McCartney as a solo performer, and Bruce Springsteen.
You remember what Billy Joel got?
I do. He rented the Butterfly Effect.
Wow. Were you there when he returned it?
No, I was not. I never saw him again.
I feel like when that happens, you should tell everybody to be like, follow up, and whoever's working, ask him what he thought of the movie that he returns. I feel like that would be a thing with everybody that works there.
First of all, I told I told everybody that works there. We all talked about it. Second of all, I told everybody in my family, and none of them believed me.
Why would they not believe you?
I don't know.
You're in New York. There's lots of famous people.
But it was Long Island. That's the thing. Like, they always believed me for people at Barnes & Noble because I'm in Manhattan. But it's the only celebrity I ever saw on Long Island. And he's like the top Long Island celebrity. So I think they thought I was making it up.
Okay. I can see why they might not believe you. But if you were like so emphatic, is that a word? If you were if I would believe you. I'll say that. I believe you.
Here's what my mistake was at the time. They asked me what name did it say on his Blockbuster card, and I didn't notice. All right. I only saw his credit card. But so I was like, I don't know, William Joel. And they were like, you're making it up.
What did they want your answer to be?
I don't know. I was making that part up though.
Yeah, you because you didn't see it. You just wanted to get past that and then believe
Yeah,
you. But but
exactly.
but why? What did they want you to say though? If you when you say William and they're like, no, we don't believe you. They want you to say Billy Joel. I don't
I guess
understand.
so.
That's weird.
I know. All right. So
Did you insult him like you did Brett Ratner?
no, no, I was very polite. I
Okay.
didn't even tell him that the butterfly effect's a piece of shit.
You were young. You had that much of an opinion about stuff like
I
that.
already knew. Are you fucking kidding me? I've been the exact same person about movies since I was like 8 years old.
That's a piece of shit. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. So you want to know what's going on in wrestling?
Oh yeah.
All right. Not much either week, but WCW did have the pay-per-view Uncensored 1999, and the main event of that was a fucking mess because it was Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan, and it was in a barbed wire steel cage match. So they're in a steel cage and the whole cage is wrapped with barbed wire.
Oh my God.
All right. And the stipulation is that it's a first blood match. So the first person that starts bleeding loses. Okay. But Ric Flair was scheduled to win the match. And he cut himself open by accident like 30 seconds into the match. And then they just ignored it. Like he's
Oh
bleeding
my God.
and the crowd's going like this should be over. What's going on? And then Ric Flair like pins Hulk Hogan and we're like, "Wait a second. This wasn't even supposed to have pins."
That's amazing. I've never heard about this. I've
Yeah.
never even heard of a steel cage barbed wire match.
It doesn't happen that often. But
Yeah.
yeah. So that was
So who
great.
won? Ric Flair won?
Ric Flair won even though he started bleeding like a second into the match.
I gotta look this up.
All right. Let's talk about the episode, Logan.
Yeah.
Written by Douglas Petrie, who's one of our important Buffy writers with us all the way through. This is his third episode as a writer. His first was Revelations with Gwendolyn Post, and his second was Bad Girls, where they dance and there's Balthazar and shit.
Is that where Wesley showed up?
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
mentioned his old that other one post, Gwendolyn
yes,
Post.
correct.
Right.
You
All
like
right.
to track writers referencing their own episodes, I've noticed.
Well, I just think it's fun.
Well, you'll see in Earshot, Jane Espenson is updating us on Band Candy.
Is she one of those writers where she has story credits? I don't think I looked her up because
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, all right, you start enemies.
Well, directed by David Grossman. This is his first episode, so I want to flag him up because he's sort of a major Buffy director. He goes on to direct 13 episodes of the show. He's with us all the way through the series. I have no idea how he got the job though, because up to this point, he'd mostly done like sketch comedy. He directed a lot of episodes of Mad TV, and he also worked a lot on the USA sitcom remake of Weird Science. And I even noticed that the dude who plays the demon in this that Faith kills was like a regular on that Weird Science show.
Wow. I
Yeah.
enjoyed him.
Yeah, I did too. So David Grossman, he's still working today. Shout out to him. His probably the biggest thing of his career was that he directed like a shit ton of episodes of Desperate Housewives.
All right.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, I guess so. Logan, scroll
Yep.
them notes.
All right. So Buffy and Angel, they come out of a movie theater. They're like kind of together at this point. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Uh,
dating again.
yeah, they're like back together a little bit. It felt a little sudden. I don't know. Did it to you?
No, I think it's been getting to this point. Like ever since like in Lovers Walk, they admitted that they couldn't be friends. I feel like it was building to this. And yeah, but it's untenable, clearly. Like they're in a relationship, but they're both acknowledging that they could never have sex ever.
Right. Right. So not fully to where we were, but they're trying. They're seeing each other more going.
Yeah.
But they went and they watched a porn movie. I'm pretty sure
I
that's what they're
don't know.
alluding to, right?
Well, it's an erotic French film called Le Banquet d'Amelia. And of course that's not a real movie, but yeah, they allude to a lot of sexy happenings in that film. I
Yeah.
think they both had the Dan Ehrenberg seeing Cruel Intentions experience.
I think so too. That's all they can talk about afterward. They're like, well, sucks we can't do that sort of stuff. And he says like at one point, like she's like, well, I can never give you boners. And he's like, no, being with you always gives me boners. He says that sort of stuff.
Kind of, yeah.
And so then Faith shows up, right? And Buffy goes off with Faith, and they run into this demon. And he mentions he has these books that are going to, I didn't quite, they're called the Books of Ascension, but are they going to prevent the Ascension?
No, I think they just detail what goes on in the Ascension.
Okay. So he wants to sell them those books, and he's going to get that money and buy a plane ticket out of Sunnydale. He's like, this bad stuff's about to happen. I want the fuck out of here. And so that's his plan, to get money and leave, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of the first times where we see a demon on Buffy that is just a normal person, like has no evil intent. He's just like a dude who happens to be a demon. We see a lot more of that going forward, especially on Angel.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really know what his deal was or anything. I wanted to learn more about him, but he just dies instantly, basically. But anyway, so Faith goes to the mayor and she tells the mayor about the demon, says, hey, he's got these books. What he gave her, like, some milk? What was going on? He was trying to give her some, I don't really know what was going on there.
He just gave her a glass of milk. He said there's nothing uncool about healthy teeth and bones.
Yeah, so
Load
drink
up on
up.
calcium and then go out there and kill that demon.
Yeah. All right. So then, but Buffy tells everybody at the library, right? She's like, hey, there's that demon. And I have a question. Cordelia and Wesley are in this scene together, and they sort of talk about, like, Cordelia's like, I need help on my work, and we can like go out to a restaurant and stuff. It was sort of a problem I had with this episode, because the last episode we saw Cordelia and Wesley, she said, like, what are you doing tonight? And then that's the last we saw them. Are we ever going to learn what happened, or are we just ignoring that?
I don't think they're actually hanging out, at least yet.
Okay.
We do get more into them at some point.
Okay. It was sort of a question, like, how have they advanced at all between? It didn't seem like it.
No, they have not kissed. They have probably haven't even, touched each other.
Or been like alone in the same room, probably.
Right.
Okay. So, all right, that was sort of a question that I had. But so Faith goes to the demon and she kills the demon, and it's pretty sad. I felt sad. I liked him.
Me too. I always feel sad when demons get killed just for being demons. Maybe it's because so many of my people were murdered in the Holocaust just for
Right.
being Jewish.
Right. It's weird. I have sympathy, and they never killed any of my folks. But
Maybe you're just a human being, Logan.
I guess so. That's good. So, and then Faith, she takes the books, right? And does she give them to the mayor? I don't know what she did with them, probably. But
yeah.
So, and then oh, here we go. So she goes to Angel. Oh, earlier in the episode, she told Buffy, like, wow, good job not like banging Angel. That's really tough to do. And then here she goes to Angel and she's like, hey, Angel, you want to, like, we don't really learn. Oh, so she did take the books to the mayor, and the mayor came up with the plan to turn. We just didn't see that, right? We just cut to her at Angel trying to hit on him.
Well, so I think that's a lot of people's problem with this episode, is like it kind of doesn't give you all the information for most of it. Like it wants to be twisty. And so, like,
right, with that ninja guy later.
Yeah, so you're missing a lot of stuff.
Like, I kind of
have to piece it together at the end. All right.
Yeah, I like that part. That's not even my problem, really. But so Faith's there and she tries, like, to kiss him and stuff, but he's like, hey, I like Buffy. But Buffy is there and she sees, and she is a woman, so she jumps to conclusions. And she's like, "No, oh no, they're fucking each other." And so, but the Faith goes to the mayor, and she's like, "Hey, that plan didn't work. Where I try to have sex with him. So now a new plan. We're gonna do a new plan, right?" And we don't
Yeah.
know the new plan yet, but
And the mayor's like, don't even worry about it. I know this guy who wears like a cloak, and he could probably help us out.
right.
Yeah.
Did he have a name, that guy?
No, he's credited as Shrouded Man in the
Yeah,
credits.
I
I
didn't.
wish he did have a name though, because he like knew Giles personally.
Yeah, I really like that part at the end. He's like, yeah, I like that.
I want to say something you skipped because I like it.
Okay.
Um, they find out some more information about the Ascension, and they say that Desmond Kane, who was the pastor of a town called Sharpsville.
There's a basketball player, Desmond Bain.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
On May 26th, 1773, wrote about the coming Ascension, and then the town was like wiped off the face of the map. Like no one ever heard of anyone from that town ever again. So I just like the way they're like slowly building up to the Ascension being like a really fucked up, horrible thing.
Yeah, and then I think it's the next episode where we learn that it's on graduation day.
That's this episode because Faith, they like get that info out of Faith.
Okay. Okay. And I don't think I knew that. I think like you told me that the Ascension is like gonna be timed out to the finale of the season, but I don't think I knew that that was graduation day. I feel like
Right.
that was new to me.
No, that was new. We knew at some point the mayor, when he became invulnerable, he said like this is the beginning of the 100 days till the
Right.
Ascension, and I said that well that really times out to the finale of the season.
It's like in a Saw
And
movie when they're like, now you have 1 hour left, and you look at the runtime and there's an hour left in the movie. I love that so much.
very good. But yeah, that now we know that the Ascension is happening on graduation day,
Right.
which
Okay.
is why the two-part finale of this season is called Graduation Day.
And they're seniors at this point.
They
Except for
certainly are.
Oz. He's a super senior, remember?
He's still a senior though.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, so we go to the library. Xander comes in and he says, we don't see Willie the snitch in this episode, but Xander says that he beat up Willie the snitch. And then he's like, all right, fine, I bribed him $28. And then there's a really funny moment where he's like, am I gonna like get that back? Are you guys gonna pay for that? And then Giles is like, do you have a receipt? And Xander's like, God damn it. No, I don't. I thought that was very funny.
I like that too.
And so so Faith comes in, right? And she's like, "Hey, Buffy, let's go do some stuff." And Buffy's like really cold to her, right? But nobody knows why. They're just like, "Oh, that was not good. Whatever's going on there is not good. We got to figure that out." And so we go to they go. Oh, so Buffy and Faith go to the demon, right? And they're like, "Oh, dead body. What happened?" And Faith is like, "I don't know. Must have been somebody, right?"
Did you notice that when they walk in the door, Faith, she immediately turns on the light, like she knows where the light switch is because
Ooh.
she'd been there before.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. No, that's great. And then we meet the ninja demon. I wrote ninja demon. I guess he's a shrouded man.
I have news for you, Logan. That's exactly what I have in my notes.
He's a
Ninja demon. Yeah.
That's what he is. And so Mayor talks to that guy and he's like, "Hey, guy, you're on my side and we got to stop this." And you're like, "Oh, no, Ninja Demon. That's bad." But great reveal later on. And okay, here we go. Willow. Remember in the last few episodes when I brought up how Willow was wearing overalls?
I noticed it this time.
She's wearing like 3 episodes in a row wearing overalls. It's a pretty weird
But
choice.
I thought it was a good outfit though, because under the overall, she was wearing an orange sweater.
Yeah.
But she was also wearing orange sneakers.
Mm.
I thought that was pretty sweet.
I didn't even notice that, but that is pretty sweet. I just think it's weird. Like Buffy wears skirts a lot, right? And I guess Willow wears overalls a lot. I guess that's a new thing that I didn't really know.
Well,
About
yeah,
her.
and Buffy's skirts have gotten longer since the first season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, man, we should go back and rewatch season one.
What, just to see Buffy's skirts?
um, all right, so Faith comes in and she does a curse on Angel. I didn't quite understand what happened. Like she poured like some stuff on him, and then she did a spell. I thought it
Well,
was like,
I think the shit she pours on him is part of the spell. I wish that it didn't look so much like blood,
yeah,
because
that's what confused me.
it just looks like she's splashing blood on him, but it's supposed to be part of the spell.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was supposed to like if Buffy was supposed to walk in and see Angel and think that that was blood and think I didn't know what like it really confused me that it was a weird choice to be honest. Like I
I
would not have
agree.
done that at all. Yeah, it would have been too confusing for people. Um, and so anyway, so Angel turns back into Vampire Angel, and Faith gets on top of him, and he's like he says he wants her to wriggle around,
I
which I
love that moment. Yeah.
yeah
As long as you're up there, I mostly just want you to keep wriggling.
yeah crazy. And all right, so we go to the library. Oz is
You
in
know,
this episode.
by the way, Angel at this point is pretending to be Angelus. Okay?
Right.
Like,
Oh, right. It's a trick.
yeah, we're not supposed to know that he's not Angelus, but I know it. So I'm watching the whole episode because I've seen it a million times before. I'm watching it knowing that he's faking it. And there are a couple moments where I'm like, you didn't need to do that, Angel.
Yeah,
Like
like
there's
this
one
moment.
part. Well, no, this part he's trying to convince Faith. But there's a moment later where like Buffy's in chains and shit, and Faith goes to like kiss Angel to like freak out Buffy. And then like Faith like turns around to go like grab a weapon or something. And Angel just like leans down and kisses her neck. And I'm like, you didn't need to kiss her neck right there.
Interesting. Yeah. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Um how did he how did the curse not work though? How did
Uh,
Angel avoid the curse working?
because it's not that Angel avoided it. The demon ninja didn't give them the proper curse
Oh, of
because he's
course.
friends with Giles.
Of course, of course, of course. All right, so next scene. So Oz is back to he's actually blonde in this episode. Like
It's very light
it's
red.
not
Yeah.
yeah, it's really I don't know what his natural hair color is. It's red, right? Seth Green?
It was always red when he was a kid.
It's not this, whatever is going on here. This is a dye job, clearly, right? This
Yeah,
blonde,
yeah.
whatever. I didn't like it. And I think it's in the next episode too.
Yeah.
Um, which is weird because that came out way later. I don't
Well, they probably had to make it light because they're dyeing over the black hair he had for the spy who shagged me.
why do you have to you can't dye it red?
You can't really do that. You can't dye like red. And I mean, you'd have to like bleach the whole thing and then dye it red, I guess.
Why? Why can you go to blonde but not to red?
Well, because then you're
Wouldn't
using
blonde be harder?
bleach.
I don't know. I've never dyed my hair before. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, yeah.
What color?
I briefly had blue hair in high school.
Okay.
Um, but that I mean, not really a lot. I stuck to black. I always wanted to dye my hair red, actually, because when I was a kid, I remember Billy Joe from Green Day had dyed his hair red, and I thought he looked fucking baller. And so I wanted to do that for a long time, but I never did.
All right. I wanted to do blonde for a while in like 2019, 2020, kind of, but
I never
I
wanted to be
never
a
did.
blonde guy. It was like a losery thing when I was a kid too, because if you dyed your hair blonde, people would just say you're ripping off like Eminem.
But like how like everybody was doing it, like Justin Bieber and Zayn and people, like the blonde like they do. Not like Owen Wilson blonde, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so we go to I forget where we were. Where were we?
I
Oh,
mean,
oh, oh, Oz is blonde. I wanted to bring this up. Xander calls Cordelia CC, right? And I never
does
thought
he? I didn't notice
he
that.
does. He calls her CC. And I never thought about this before, but Cordelia Chase is her name, right? But
Yeah.
also Charisma Carpenter is her name.
Yeah, they have the
Hey,
same
it works.
initials.
Very cool. I never thought about that, but that made me think about it. So very cool. So Xander is like But what's going on with him? He's like bummed because Wesley and Cordelia are like openly flirting. That's what
I
I
don't know,
got.
I don't know about bummed, but he definitely like feels weird about it.
Because he's like, I'm gonna go by myself and walk. Because then he like runs into Angel. That's why he's by himself later.
Yeah, he goes like
I didn't understand.
five's a crowd or whatever, and Cordelia's like, yeah, you fucking better believe it is.
I really didn't get it because like that there's that one episode where it's the whole episode. Xander's like, you guys need help, you guys, where he's like has the car, right? And this episode, he's just like bummed for some random reason, and he goes off by himself. It really didn't work for me. I gotta
I
be
think he's
honest.
just more self-actualized since the Zeppo.
All
He's
right, more
come
independent.
to, yeah, yeah.
All right, that's fair. So he
He's a man now. He lost his virgin.
yeah, you're right, you're right. So Angel goes to the mayor and he has like a letter opener, and Mayor's like, stab me with it, I dare you. So he throws it at him, and he realizes that he can like not die or whatever.
Right.
And
So that's
oh,
one great thing they learn. This whole episode ultimately is about gathering information on the Ascension.
mm, that's a good point. So that's a thing that they learn that's not really important for this episode, but later on,
Right.
I guess could be. That's a good point. Great job. I did like this moment where the mayor's like, "Oh, they grow up so fast." Like when Faith's like walking out with Angel and they're like
Yeah.
together or whatever.
He's
I
like, get her home by 11 or something.
yeah, I really like that moment. So here we go. Oh, wait, Xander, by the way, calls Cordelia jailbait again.
Yeah, a second time. We're just saying jailbait. Meanwhile, I think Cordelia's probably 18 at this
30.
point.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
well, the actress is 28.
yeah.
Um,
It's kind of funny calling a 28-year-old jailbait. I gotta be
yeah,
honest.
that's true.
And so but Faith and Angel, they go to Joyce's house, Buffy's house, and Joyce is there. And
This is another moment. Like Angel's pretending. He doesn't need to be creepy with Joyce in this moment.
I don't think it's creepy. I think he's just giving her a compliment.
I don't know. It came off creepy to me.
He just says like, I like your hair. Like what'd you do to your hair? I like it. I don't know. I don't think that's like creepy, but I like Joyce's reaction. She's like, "Oh, that's nice," and like giving her a little pep in her stuff a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Joyce in both these episodes. She's really good in both of these. So there's one moment, by the way, where we see a photo of the mayor from a long time ago, and they realize that which I didn't really understand. I thought that he was kind of a normal guy until this whole Ascension stuff. He
Right,
was been
but
around forever.
evidently not. They first they think it's like the mayor's dad. They're like, yeah, wow, the mayor's grandfather or whatever looks just like him. But then they realize, no, it's Richard Wilkins III. This dude has been alive since for over 100 years, and that's the reason. Like he's always referring to himself as like a family man, but we never meet his wife or kids or anything. And it's probably because he's just like well outlived them all.
Yeah. Um it so that's interesting. I don't really know what this guy is, if he's like a demon or a vampire, or if he's something that we've never known about. I don't really know. But anyway, so I want to bring up this moment. Buffy or Angel chains up Buffy, right? And he says like we should have been playing with chains more often, which I
Yeah,
thought was a weird line because they've had
yeah.
sex one time.
I know. He said we've been together for well, I guess he sees this as something Angelus would say.
But they've had sex
Angelus
one
was into
time.
bondage. I know. I know.
All right. Well, anyway, so it gets revealed like there's actually a cool moment where Buffy's talking to Faith and she's like, "You're nothing compared to me. I can get Angel, and you have to like put curses on him. You're a fucking loser," is what she says. And
Yeah,
then
and
it's
she's like
revealed.
she says like you can only beat me when you tied me up. Like
Yeah, it's really
that's not
cool.
impressive, motherfucker.
Yeah, I thought that was great. And then Angel is like, or somebody says, I think Faith is like, I'm a great actor, and then they're like, no, someone else is better, and then Angel's like, I'm just pretending.
No, she says I'm the best actor, and Angel goes second best.
Yeah, I guess it's better than how I said it.
Yeah, no, I'm just pretending.
I made it sound way dumber. And so they turn the tables on her and they realize that nothing, he's not cursed or whatever. And we get the reveal that Giles, what happened? So what happened? Did they kill anybody at the end of this? Was
What
there
do
a
you
bad
mean?
guy? When they
No,
reveal like that Angel's good, they just like walk out.
the bad guy of this episode's Faith, and so like when they
But I feel like there
reveal,
was action. What happened after the action? What was the conclusion there?
they get the information from Faith, and then Buffy gets out of the chains, and they because Angel didn't actually tie them correctly, and they fight for a little bit, and then Faith gives her like Faith's like it's similar actually to the episode Innocence from last season, where Buffy is like fighting Angel and he says like you can't kill me, like you're not equipped for that, and she kicks him in the balls and says give me time. It's similar to that, like Faith is like you're not that person, you're not gonna kill me. And then she says yeah, and she kisses Buffy on the cheek. Supposed to
Oh
be the
right, I didn't
it,
like that.
it was supposed to be the lips, but the WB censored it.
Yeah, now that you explain it, all that felt really sudden and weird. I don't know. I kind of agree with Josh Merlis. This is a kind of a weird episode that I wasn't all that into. It sort of felt like things just happened to happen, like I kind of said. Like I sort of like the reveals of how you don't know everything at certain points. I'm not complaining about that, but like that at the end, it just felt kind of weak. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it, but that's how I feel. Anyway, so we learned that Giles introduced the demon ninja to his wife. That's why
Yeah,
he's been on his side the whole time. And he says it like so
Mrs. Demon
nonchalantly.
Ninja.
So
Yeah.
Mrs. Demon Ninja. And it's just a great moment. And here we go. So the mayor tells Faith he's gonna take her mini golfing. And here's what I have to say is Faith better not cheat at any point. Am I right?
Oh yeah, man. Otherwise, she'll get fucking the Ted treatment, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Ted reference, guys. If you didn't know.
Yeah.
Um, there you go.
I
That's how.
like,
Did you
I
think about
like,
Ted?
no, I didn't, but I like Faith laughing at the, like, I love how close Faith and the mayor are growing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's making me sad though that Faith and, and Buffy aren't close. I have to admit. And Faith and Xander, like I liked Faith with the crew. I don't know. But here we go. So Buffy goes to Angel and she tells Angel, I feel like we need to take a break. Whatever is going on, bad thing. I don't understand why she needed to take a break, TBH. But she says she needs to take a break, and he's like,
She
all
felt
right.
fucking weird seeing him be jealous again. I think it hit close to home for her. She remembers like when he was fucking torturing her entire
Was
group
it
of
that?
friends last
Oh, she might
season.
actually be jealous because of Faith. Do you think it's
Well,
because of
that's
that?
part of it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more in the next episode. We learn that. That might be it. But he says like, "You still my girl," and she says, "Always," like how they always do. But
But
I
then
don't
she
know.
walks out, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. You said 4 is from here on out. I think this is a little speed bump, but
I don't see it as a speed bump, but I do think you're right. I think it's a 3.
okay. Um,
I was slightly wrong.
I don't know who to go MVP because I kind of want to go Faith, but the ending where she's just like kisses her on the cheek and says like a one-liner and runs off, I didn't like. But I'm gonna go Faith this episode.
No, I'm going Angel, man. I love Boreanaz switching right back into that Angelus mode. He's so good.
How does he do that? He can just turn into a vampire whenever he wants to.
Yeah.
That's how vampires work.
Well, I mean, facially, yes.
What does that mean? Facially,
You mean like the
not
demon
internally.
face? He's always a vampire. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like his face. He can just turn on vamp face anytime he wants
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
I didn't know if he had to
It's
like
not
be really
like
hungry or
no,
something.
it's not like the fucking Hulk.
Or like Wolverine, he has to get angry for the claws to come
He
out.
does not. He can pop the claws anytime he wants to.
No,
If
he
he
can.
wants to use if he
What?
wants to use his claws to like open up his beverage, he can.
Really? I thought he had to sort of make himself mad for it to come out.
Absolutely not.
Maybe he just
Oh,
has to prepare himself because it hurts. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I feel like there's a scene with Rogue where she's like, "Oh, she says, does it hurt?" He says every time, right? Is that what I'm thinking of?
yeah,
And then he sort of does it for her, and you can see like the pain in his face. That's what I'm thinking of. He's not making himself angry. He's hurting himself, I guess. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry, Daniel. So there we go. That's a good pick, Angel MVP. That's a good pick. LVP. I'm gonna go Oz. He just has blonde hair, doesn't do anything. I feel like he doesn't even say anything. I don't know.
Who else is in this episode?
Well, there's Cordelia.
Any
There's Joyce.
extras? Wesley.
There's the demon guy, but I really liked him.
Yeah, he's cool. Hang
I
on,
feel
I'm
like
looking
that's
at the
it. Oh, the
cast.
demon ninja. What about him?
No, he's all right. Um,
Willie the snitch for not making an appearance. You mentioned him.
no. I think Oz is an okay choice.
Yeah, it's really all I could come up with. Sorry. What about Wesley? What does he do?
Flirts with Cordelia more.
It's really all his characters so far. Flirt with Cordelia and then sometimes make jabs at Giles.
Right.
That's all he is so far. I'm excited to see why you love him so much. I am excited for that. But
Yep.
all right. Oh, we gotta rank this. So this is where I put it. I did it while we were talking. We've done 51 episodes right now without earshot, and I put it 27, right under the midway point. I put it between what's amends, by the way. I
That's the Christmas episode.
think I like that more. I think I'm gonna put it between amends and what's my line 2. They're at 27.
Okay. I also like men's more. So start me on that one.
You have amends at 31, so you're even more down on this than me. Amends, phases, welcome to the Hellmouth, the harvest, dead man's party, the dark age, teacher's
Yeah,
pet.
you could put this
Witch.
above Dead Man's Party.
It's between the harvest and dead man's party.
Yeah.
So you have a 35, and it seemed like you liked this more than me.
I like Buffy.
Me too. I like it more than you.